Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities. Presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, four-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, and owner and creator of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP, and owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting. Tonight we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name Airielle Vincent. A little bit about her. Airielle Vincent is an award-winning news producer turned educator, backed by a combined 10-plus years of academic and practical experience in media marketing. Within the last year, she won an AP Award for Best TV Evening Newscast, an Emmy Award for Best Newscast, and a Regional Edward R. Murrow Award. The Regional Edward R. Murrow Award honors outstanding achievements in electronic journalism. Vincent demonstrates the spirit of excellence that Murrow set as a standard for the profession. Airielle is currently an assistant professor facilitating courses in integrated marketing communications at Tennessee State University. She brings expertise in management and marketing, and Vincent takes pride in identifying teaching needs and measuring training effectiveness in the classroom. Her research expertise centers around social media policies and strategies and how to reduce negative attention and enhance organizational reputation. In her spare time, Airielle runs a small social media management business. She works with brand influencers like HBCU Go and sports organizations like Global Coach. Airielle produces and co-hosts 2 shows on Sirius XM. She recently published her first novel, I Used to Know Him. And Airielle also competes as a triathlete in local and national competitions. Welcome to the table, the amazing Airielle Vincent.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited to talk to you tonight.
Well, I'm excited to have you to the table to share all of your wisdom and nuggets I'm sure you're going to share with my listeners. So please tell us more about your entrepreneur journey.
So, it's kind of something that just happened. I currently run a social media management business, and over the last couple of years, 5 years, I've watched as social media has completely changed in the news business, because that's where my background is right now. I'm an assistant professor. But I started off in the news business after graduating from college. So we went from holding our biggest story for the 5 o'clock newscast to breaking the biggest stories on our website and on social media. And from that, I kind of noticed that people needed help. Anchors needed help figuring out what to post to get more followers, when to post, and really how to engage our viewers. So I started off working with a few anchors just to build their brands. And now I've branched out to others. I work with sports organizations like Global Coach out of Orlando, Florida, to build their brand. And I've recently joined a new project with HBCU Go and Tennessee State University. So HBCU Go is a new app that Curtis Simons has developed to help connect HBCU students with each other. And so I'll be running their social media platforms to make sure that everyone is connected through the app and then through the website and then everything else that they have going on. So I truly work with some amazing people with HBCU Go, from Dr. Tamika Winston to Karen Russell to Joe Ritchie. We're all really just digging deeper into this project to make sure that it's beneficial for our students and to make sure that it's spreading awareness about HBCUs and just, shedding a good light on HBCUs.
Well, I can tell that you are very passionate about, social media management. So let's talk more about your passion for media and marketing. So tell us more about that.
Yes. So I love media, I love marketing, but specifically, I'm really passionate about integrated marketing communications, which is kind of a mix of media marketing and communications. As you mentioned a little earlier, this is my first year as the department head for integrated marketing communications over at Tennessee State University, and I'm so excited. I'm excited about the students. I'm excited about the classes. Just for anyone out there who's listening that may not know what integrated marketing communications is, it's kind of a strategic and promotional business function where professionals find targeted audiences through consistent and persuasive brand messaging. In my opinion, it's, I guess you would say, the best of all the worlds of communications. So it includes advertising, public relations, direct marketing, social media, and sales promotion. So you can pretty much do anything if you're passionate about IMC. So right now, we're all witnessing all these changes in technology. As technology continues to advance and as digital media becomes more important, companies are really looking to leverage social media and leverage technology in order to create effective or, consistent marketing plans. And so that's where IMC comes into play. I love being able to work in marketing, but also being able to analyze data and then manage strategic project planning. So that's really where my passion is. I talked about a lot of stuff there.
You did, but I know you're very passionate just in working with you on other projects, So I love your passion for that. So let's talk more about your, social media management business and the services that you offer. So can you go more into detail with that for listeners so we can see how we can support and get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So first I'll say, it's a small business. I'm taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, really trying to figure everything out. For me, it's really customized for every organization or every person that I work with. So I have one client who I run all their social media. So they've trusted me to do the research, to find the best times to post for them. I post their comments or content. I reply to all their followers, any comments, any messages, and then I do all the research for their hashtags in order to reach their following. I'll also do social media analysis. So if someone says, you know what, Airielle, I'm not really ready for you to run my social media, can you just look at my social media and tell me what it looks like? I'll go through their posts and I'll let them know what's working for them, what they're doing, what they're not doing well, in order to just help them figure out what their strategy is, to help them get more followers or to help them reach a wider audience. For me, I just want to help in any way that I can. So it really just depends on what they're looking for. It starts with a conversation, and then we go from there. Whatever I can do to help, whether it's run their social media, whether it's tell them what they're doing, what they're not doing, or even just help them develop a strategy, that's what I'm here for.
And we know a lot of people are very focused on, a lot of the social media branding, but specifically the following part, right? Everybody wants more followers. So can you talk more about some of the strategies that you would give to listeners who are listening in order to increase their followers? Because that's one of the big, myths of having social media. Everybody wants a lot of followers, but it's all about connecting with them as well.
That's so very true. Everyone wants more followers, but no to put in the work.
Right.
I have a couple different strategies. We'll kind of break it down in layman's terms. But, the first thing that I talk to a client about is, what's your goal? Just creating a profile and posting some information about a product is no longer enough. That may have worked when social media first came out, but it just doesn't work anymore. You have to be able to engage and communicate with your community, which is your followers, whoever's following you, your fans. Without having a goal, you won't know if you're meeting any of your targets. So that's why I say it's so important to have a goal, to have a strategy. It's important to take a step back and just decide, what is my social media campaign? So, for example, are you looking for engagement? Like, are you looking for clicks, likes, shares, comments, mentions, or are you looking to grow your following? So do you want a higher following count? Do you want more impressions? Do you want more web traffic? You really have to think about what your goal is to move forward. Then after you have that goal, you have to, break down your customers and break down your followers. So you have to take the time to understand who they are, what they're interested in, and then where you can find them. Basically, you're looking at the target market so you can engage with them effectively. If I have a social media page that is about eating as a vegan, I want to know who my followers are, what they want to see. Clearly, it wouldn't make sense to post something about eating meat. So you just want to know who your customers are and who your followers are. Next, which people don't understand, but I tell them to check out your competition. If you are starting an Instagram page, like I said, about eating vegan, look at what other people are doing. You want to pay attention to their followers, pay attention to their engagements, and then the big one is you want to pay attention to the frequency and then the timing of their posts. Are they posting morning, lunch, and dinner? How much are they posting? Are they posting 3 times a day? Are they posting 12 times a day? You can learn so much by just seeing what other people are doing well, and you can also learn by seeing how they're messing up. Because if they're messing up, you clearly can learn, and you don't want to do that as well. I just tell people, have fun. Be passionate about what you're doing. Social media strategies change all the time. I could tell someone something today, and then it changes next week. But if you really love what you're doing, and if you're really passionate about what you're doing, you'll love posting, and it won't really matter.
And so I just want to thank you for sharing those wisdom and nuggets with our listeners about that, because that is a big thing, right? But it's all about, like you stated, connecting with them, right? And making sure we know who our target audience is, and making sure that we are that we know who we should be following, who we should not be following. There's a lot of things that play a part into that, right? So it's just not, buying the followers or all the different things that people do, but you actually want to have real followers and actually make real life connections with them as well. So thank you for sharing that, Airielle.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I just had that conversation with someone today. Yeah, you may buy some followers and then you have 15 million followers, but does it really matter? Like, are you really touching someone? In my opinion, you're just wasting your time. You may look cool with some followers, but you're not touching anyone's life. You're not changing anyone's life. So it's like, so what? Why are you doing that?
Right. So what are some strategies you would give to entrepreneurs about social media branding, right? Because some entrepreneurs that are listening that they might want social media branding, but they don't know if it's worth the investment. So could you talk more about that?
Yeah, so strategies, or more of like how to measure what they're doing?
More so strategies on that, because I think entrepreneurs want to have the branding, but a lot of people, they rather do it themselves, or they'll, try to get around it. But most of the time, when you're trying to build a business, you'd have to have your social media platforms, updated and on point. So could you talk more about that and why that's important to invest in that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that it really just goes back to strategy and knowing what your goal is. You have to know your why. You have to have your why. I don't care if it's because you're working out. I don't care if it's because you're social media branding. You have to know your why when you're coming up with these strategies in order to know where you're going. So I think it all goes back to having a goal, knowing who your followers are, and then checking your competition when it comes to those strategies. I'd say those are my top 3 strategies that I tell every single client.
So what are the pros and cons of it, of doing the social media branding?
The pros and the cons. So I would say one of the biggest pros is you're able to reach so many people with social media. I can make a post right now and someone in Sweden can see it, or someone in South Korea can see it, someone in Africa can see it. You can reach so many people when it comes to social media. Now, when it comes to those cons, I think one of the biggest things that people fear is making mistakes and then getting negative feedback. So many people come to me and say, well, this person said this on my social media. What should I do? Whenever a negative comment pops up, people want to make an excuse, or they want to apologize. Everyone fears negative comments, and they're afraid that it's going to spoil their reputation. For me, instead of apologizing or instead of ignoring that negative comment and taking that as a con, brands, organizations, people, we should take that as an opportunity to improve. Social media offers a great chance to start a conversation with people who left you that feedback. So ask, what can I do to get better? Or what do you want to see? What content would be better for you? That way you can face that negative feedback and start to engage as early as possible. So I would say that any con that someone can come up with, I can flip that and make that an opportunity. There's no such thing as a con when it comes to social media. Everything can work out or help you in your favor. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And going back, let's go back and touch on content a little bit, because that's so important too, that when we're posting content, that it brings value, right? So could you elaborate on good content and, making sure that when you're posting content that it does bring value and that it's good content?
Absolutely. So again, that goes back to your strategy. That goes back to your followers. You want to make sure that you're posting content that your followers want to see. So going back to that example of having a vegan Instagram page, you want to solve someone's problem. So if I'm becoming vegan, I'm coming to your page because maybe I'm not quite sure what vegan eating looks like. So giving some recipes helps. Telling people what a vegan lifestyle looks like helps. Telling people, it can be difficult to start off going vegan. That helps. So what I tell people is you want to solve someone's problem with your content, no matter what you're posting about. If it's going vegan, if it's playing basketball, if it's HBCU Go, you want to create content that helps someone. So they're going back to your page because you're helping them, you're solving their problem, or you're helping them move forward, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. So for our listeners that are listening, when you're posting your content on social media, make sure that you are solving someone's problem, and make sure that your content is good content as well. So thank you for sharing that, Airielle. So what are some common social media marketing mistakes that business owners make?
Mistakes. There are so many mistakes that I see. I think one of the biggest mistakes is failing to make a strategy. And I know I've said strategy so many times on the phone tonight. If any of my students are listening, I'm sure they're like, Professor Vincent always talks about strategy. But what I see is, people decide to join a social network. They make a profile, they load it with some info, they put out some great stuff to attract some attention, and then they disappear because they don't have a strategy. Within a few weeks of that super launch, it turns into people looking for answers but getting no replies, and then their page becomes a flop. That's a mistake. I tell people you have to create a plan and you have to stick to that plan. So the questions I ask them are, what is the goal that you're using your social media for? Are you trying to gain likes? Are you trying to gain followers? Tell me why. Why are you trying to gain likes? Why are you trying to gain followers? If you come back and say, I just want to be famous, I'm going to tell you, please have a seat. That's not where it's at right now. Do you want to create a new source for sales leads? Are you trying to cement your brand? Those are the types of questions, or those are the types of goals that you should have. And if you don't know what your goal is, trust me, you're not going to attain anything. You're not going to get followers. You're not going to get likes. So I tell people you have to have a goal. You have to know who your target audience is. And you also have to have time. I think people think that it's easy. It's not easy to get followers. It's not easy to get likes. You have to have time to create those posts, create those graphics, create that plan. So say you want to have going to Halle Berry. I absolutely love Halle Berry. On Fridays, she does this Fitness Friday post where she tells her followers what she's doing fitness-wise. And a lot of people tune in to say, hey, Halle Berry, she kickboxed today, or she did some yoga today. It takes time to come up with that plan, and you have to post that plan every Friday. When you skip a Friday or when you skip 2 Fridays, boom, I'm hitting unfollow because you're not consistent. So I tell people you have to have that time to implement that strategy and to reach your goal.
Absolutely, because that's so important, right? That we have a strategy and a plan to making sure, like you stated, to reach our goals and making sure that we're solving a problem. So let's talk more about your new book. So let's talk about your book. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes. So yeah, I wrote a book. It's technically called a novella, but I did write a book. It's called I Used to Know Him. It is available everywhere. It's available on Amazon, Google Books. You can pretty much find it anywhere. And it just really dives into social media, which is where my life is. But it's about a woman who is in love with a guy, and the guy doesn't really love her back. And so she turns to social media to find love, I guess if you want to say that. She turns to social media to find love, and then all this bad stuff starts happening. So it kind of goes through everything that she's going through, her trials and tribulations, finding love on social media, and then it has a suspenseful ending, I guess you can say.
I love that. So tell us what platforms they're on. So is it on Amazon, or is your website? Where are some places they could go?
Yes. So you can find it on Amazon. You can find it on Google Books. Those are the two easiest places to find it. I'd say Amazon and Google Books.
So please go support Airielle, one of her novella, basically, her novella. Go support her novella and support and connect with her and book her to speak at different opportunities as well, because her book is amazing. So she's definitely somebody to connect with. So Airielle, you're constantly building your own table. So I ask all of my guests this question: how did you create your seat at the table?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and I think that's something that everyone has to figure out for themselves. For me, I've had some amazing mentors, from my mother, Carolyn Clifford, to dance teachers, to professors, to my current chair, Dr. Tamika Winston. I've had people who have been there guiding me in the right direction. For me, it's also taken a lot of work. I'm not afraid to be the first person in the door and the last person out the door at the end of the day. I also am very big on doing my homework. To me, knowledge inspires confidence. So I talk to my peers to get up to speed on everything that I need to know. And for every meeting that I go to, for everything that I do, I always try to be prepared beyond expectations. So if I'm supposed to know something, I want to know more than what I'm supposed to know if I'm walking in that door. And then lastly, I think the biggest thing for me for creating my own seat at the table is building relationships. I think so many people forget to network or think that they can just stay in their own bubble, but they can't. Building relationships allows you to show people who you are. It also allows you to show them what your value is, and it can get you in the right door at the right time. So I tell people, network, find a mentor, build some relationships, and that'll help you create your seat at the table.
Yes, finding a mentor and building genuine relationships. I'm so glad you said it, Airielle, because it's so important that we do that, right? Because I am a believer that our destiny is tied to our connections, and that's so important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like this conversation right now. I mean, I met you, I think it was last year during that Year Fear event at Tennessee State University, and we've kind of stayed in touch, and we've talked, and our relationship has bloomed. And look at this, I'm on your radio show tonight. So I tell people, just have a conversation with someone, talk to someone, network, and see how you guys can help each other. You're doing so many great things for my classes at Tennessee State University. You've come to talk to my students. We appreciate you so much. You're bringing a scholarship to TSU. You have done great things, and that all came from just one conversation. So we appreciate you. I appreciate you and everything that you do to help us and help our students.
Yes, and I just want to say I appreciate you as well. Airielle, you have sent us interns. We have created partnerships together. We're still working on different projects. So I want to commend you as well and thank you. And I appreciate you and Dr. Winston and all of the staff at Tennessee State as well as the students. So thank you.
Thank you, yes.
So we all have a process, right? And a lot of us don't like the pain that we go through. We have to endure the pain to get to the next level.
Oh, for sure.
So what did failure teach you?
Oh,
I know.
You know, I have failed a lot in life, and I have no problem telling people that. You know, I think it's important to look at people like, you know, Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, Oprah, Michael Jordan. So many people counted them out and called them failures, and now they're a part of history. Some of my biggest failures and my lessons were learned starting off in the news business. I'd say through failure, I've learned how to be a better writer. I've learned how to create a better show. You know, transitioning into higher education. Through failure, I've learned how to be a better professor, how to be a better advisor. The biggest lesson, or I guess the most important lesson, is that through failure, you get experience. So I don't take failure as a bad thing. I take failure as a lesson. I take it as an experience. And every time I fail, I don't stay down. I pick myself up and I learn something new, and I keep going. Even if you fail, you have to pick yourself up and you have to keep pushing forward.
Yes, because it definitely is a lesson, right? It's a lesson to help us get there, to get up and do it again and do it the right way the next time. So what does success teach you, Airielle? Because you're very successful.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Failure and success, you know, I think both of them have taught me so much. Success has taught me appreciation. It's taught me to appreciate the good times and to be proud of how far I am in my career and the role that I'm in. I think so many times we get stuck in this place where we're like, okay, I'm here. What am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? What am I going to accomplish next? I think that sometimes I have to tell myself, you know, just have a seat and appreciate where you are and what you've done so far. So I'd say success has taught me to be grateful. You know, I work with some of the most amazing people. I have some of the most amazing students that, you know, make me smile every single day, and I'm just so proud to be their professor. So I think success teaches us to be appreciative. It also teaches us to be persistent. No matter what stands in our way, we have to keep moving forward. We have to be appreciative, but we have to always set goals for ourselves. So even though I'm happy where I am, I do know that, you know, I have goals over the next 365 days, over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years. I have places that I want to go. So for me, success is only the beginning of the journey that I'm currently on. So I love where I am. I'm appreciative of where I am. But I know, you know, I have places to be.
And you're doing amazing at that. Super congratulations on your promotion, right? Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So Airielle has definitely created her seat at the table, has built multiple tables for herself, and she's definitely somebody to know and somebody to connect with. So if you would please tell us what we can expect from you the rest of the year. We're walking into Q4, and I know you're going to finish strong. So what can we expect from you the rest of the year?
I am working on a couple of different projects. So awesome. I am working on producing a show with the amazing Dr. Tamika Winston on Sirius XM. So I'm working with her on that. You know, as we talked about, I published my first book in February called I Used to Know Him. The second book, because it's a series, comes out February 2020. So I'm just working on that, getting the cover finished and getting ready to roll that out. I'm working on a couple different projects with Tennessee State University. So HBCU Go, it's really big on my radar right now. Working on content creation, working on their social media, working on just, you know, building that bridge with HBCUs. I think that so many people are unaware about HBCUs and unaware about all the great things that our students do. So a big project for me is just sharing our experiences, sharing what students at HBCUs are doing, and sharing how amazing HBCUs are. You know, you can find everything on an HBCU campus, and people need to know that. So I just want to help in sharing those stories and creating those stories and bridging that gap so that everyone knows what's going on. So those are just a couple of the projects that I'm working on, professionally and personally.
Well, some congratulations on everything that you're doing. I know you're going to finish the year strong. You have some amazing projects coming up, and I can't wait to continue to see all the great things that I know God is going to continue to do in your life, because you are amazing.
Thank you.
By the way. Yes, you are. So
thank you so much.
You are welcome. So will you please tell our listeners how they can connect with you and support you on all social media platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. So my Facebook, if people want to find me on Facebook, they can just search my name. It's Airielle Vincent, which is spelled A-I-R-I-E-L-L-E, and then Vincent, which is V as in vacation, I-N-C as in cat, E-N-T. So just search me. You know, I'll add you as a friend, and we can connect. I love for people to send me messages, you know, mention me in posts. If you have questions, please find me, let me know. People can also find me on Instagram. My Instagram, it's an interesting name, but it is my middle name. So it's Jewel, which is spelled Jewellz, and then underscore and the number 11. So Jewels _11. And then same thing, you know, people can find me on Instagram, connect with me. And I just love connecting with people and talking about social media brands, social media policies and strategies. If someone out there needs help with their social media, you know, I can take a look at your social media and tell you what you're doing well, tell you what you're not doing well. If someone is at that stage where they're like, I don't want to do this, but I want my brand to continue, let me know, and we can talk about that. So anything that people want to connect and talk about, you know, I am here to help in any way.
So please, listeners, connect with Airielle so she can help take your brand to the next level, because we all could use more help with our social media branding, because as we all know, social media branding is so important to helping us get to the next level. We need it. It is important. So thank you, Airielle, for coming to this table today. Taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule, and this has been a very powerful interview, and I can't wait to invite you back to the table.
Thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure talking to you tonight.
All right, and I look forward to continuing to work with you and collaborate with you.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins-Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to Author Kimberly McLemore and to my intern, Sarah, from Tennessee State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.